Good morning, everyone. Evening, afternoon, day 6 of the Hangathon. So excited to have you here, and thank you so much for the awesome comments that we're already getting. Today, we have so many great things for you. But before we get there, I think we should start with some of the questions. What do you think, John?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. And everyone compliment you fat on that hot librarian look she's got going on today. I think that's pretty cool. So thanks for the studious look. You're going to need some studious nature when you come into this stuff we're going to cover today. Yeah, let's get started with some questions, and then we'll get into the training.
So yes, thank you. Hope you like my look. Um, okay, so we got a few really, really awesome questions yesterday, and people are already getting ready to buy the Celerator. So when you do that today, there's an awesome, insane bonus that we're going to talk about in a second. But first, questions. This is from Stephanie Harrison. She's Robert's sister. She's been on all our Hangouts this week. Awesome, Stephanie. She says, great information and motivation. I'm going to do the 30-day challenge from yesterday, and I have a question about that. You said to write sales copywriting by hand, which I think is great. I'm just confused as to whether you mean write our own copy by hand or pick other people's copy to write it by hand. If the latter, do you recommend copy to copy? Thank you for all your time, Stephanie.
Yeah, the trick, Stephanie, is to write other people's copy by hand because it helps your brain imprint what they're doing in a kind of a unique fashion. It's a trick that's been used by very famous copywriters for 50 years. So it's one that a lot of the guys back in the Mad Men days, if you watch Mad Men, they would do that. They would take ads and they would write them out by hand, and it's just a way of imprinting the brain. So find great sales letters that you know convert really well. I have written more than my share, and write them out by hand. And that's true even if you have Celerator. There's no reason why you can't continue to learn. And you've heard me say this for the past 5.5 days now, that you may have the best product in your hands, and I think this is the best product for that, but it's not the only product. It's things you want to add to a library. I believe in creating a library of tools and resources that you can turn to, and that this is just a great and cheap way of doing it, just finding a great sales letter and writing it out by hand. Yeah, watch what it does for you. Try it once and see what happens. So thanks.
Awesome. The next question is about affiliates. Could you recommend anyone who specializes? Oh, it's not. This is focus. Could you recommend anyone who specializes in focus? I'd love to follow up, but I just have a couple of hours. What can I do?
Oh yeah, I've got something today that's going to solve all your focus problems entirely, and that is the best way to solve it is having a coach. I know that because I've had them, I have them, and I can't do without them in many cases. So having someone to actually coach you through something is the most powerful way imaginable to get you to focus on anything. So as you're going to find out, just stick around to the end of the Hangout-a-thon today. There's a really cool little coaching thing that we're going to put in that's not, I've never announced this before in a public forum like this, and it's just really, really, really cool. I can't wait to share it with you. So that is the ultimate secret to focus.
I love it, and it's true from experience. Yes, having someone walking you, it's priceless. I think it's Shaul, S-A-U-L, Saul is asking, in this 30-day challenge, how can I create a USP for high-ticket affiliate product, somebody else's product, and actually, what would be a key play to go for a top-tier affiliate opportunity using the Celerator?
The first question would be, I can give you my personal experience with this. There's a product called HoloSync that I wrote a 5-minute VSL intro for. And so the strategy here is that you take a product that you really like and that you've used that you could actually back up and say it's not a review as much as it is saying, hey, listen, I want to tell you about this product, but I want to tell you about my personal experiences with it. So it's sort of a review, but it's really a sales letter that preempts the person from going to the sales page first and gets them ready to it. It's a pre-qualification technique. And so I have inside Celerator the 5-minute VSL formula. And that's what you want to use for this, something very short that says, hey, here's my experience with it, and you would modify the copy to be, here's my experience with this. And then you can tell it what to expect. It said, look, on the next page you can expect blank, blank, and blank. And it really gears the mind up to get ready, not only for what they're going to experience as a visual, but also what they're going to get ready to buy.
And I got to tell you, I did not know that you wrote The Holosync, that's a meditation software, right?
Yeah, I wrote my own VSL that sends people to their sales page. So that's what he's asking. I didn't write Holosync. I
No, no,
wrote.
I know, but I bought Holosync because of that sales letter. So
Oh
understand.
yeah, okay. There you go. Proof positive that it worked.
So positive. Okay, and then the last question is from Douglas, and he's saying, "I'm good to go. I'm interested in the Celerator. I'd be interested in bare bones Celerator without personal help and bonuses for less. I don't need further distractions." So, can he get it for less? And what about distractions?
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, you don't discount Ferraris. That's yeah, this is really it. This actually, it actually isn't a discount. It's just a way of you to save $800 before we go up in price on February 1st. So we never discount it. But here's the cool thing about it is it's the thing I'm going to tell you today. You have to wait until the end. Is a distraction saver. It's not something to distract. I don't believe in giving away bonuses and perks and add-ons that distract you from something. The one thing that I'm including, this is not a bonus, by the way, this is part of Celerator VIP, which you're going to hear about today. This is actually the thing that will solve any sort of distraction problems that you may or may not have encountered in the past. And if this doesn't do it, absolutely nothing will. So yeah, and when you hear about it, you'll go, oh, that's why they can't discount it because, well, I'm going to keep you in suspense. You'll figure it out. Trust me. So thanks.
It's awesome. Okay, so now hopefully we got most of your questions from yesterday. If you have any more questions, please put them right there in the comments. And we are going to tell you in a second how you can win this awesome prize today, which is Jon's book, Modality Marketing. And before we tell you how you can win it, Jon is going to tell you what it's about.
Yeah, maybe you can put the cover up there. I think we sent it to you. Modality marketing is a term that's been used before. I wrote, as far as I know, I wrote the first like kind of manual on how to do it. And there are multiple modalities of learning. There's sensory modalities, there's learning modalities, there's temporal modalities, there's all sorts of modalities. And all that is a framework in how you approach something. For example, the easiest ones to understand are sensory modalities. So when you talk to your audience and you use words like, I think that you should know that blah blah blah. Okay, you're going to hear think and know, and that is one form of a modality to think, to process with your mind. But what if your audience has a very high visual modality? For example, they like to hear the word see or look, and it's very important inside your sales copy to make sure that all those are covered. And I'm hearing an echo of myself, so we may want to mute
No, you're
on your
fine.
end.
Okay. Yeah.
So that's very important to cover inside your marketing. And modality marketing is basically how you can capitalize on that without having to overthink it. So now Celerator has all that stuff worked in already. It's got all the different modalities, even down to smell, which most people don't think they could ever use. Like, how could I use smell or taste? And well, actually, I use it all the time. I use it all the time in my marketing. And again, you're tapping on every single modality that applies that really appeals to people. So you don't have to worry about finding the one modality that works for everybody because there isn't one. You just need to worry about focusing on each of them and in some way, form, or fashion, including each of them in your sales message. That's why everyone feels inclusive. And when they feel inclusive, in fact, the subtitle of this report says, how to make basically everyone fall in love with you, because that's essentially what happens when people feel like they're understood. Remember back to day one, the most important thing that you can do as a marketer is to make your prospect feel completely understood, that you actually understand his or her concerns, and that your product has been designed around those concerns for realsy. I mean, not like from a marketing angle, oh yeah, it does that too. I mean, for real, it addresses those concerns as best as humanly possible. Once they feel understood, that's when you have a great deal of rapport, and that's when you can close a sale very easily. Modality marketing helps you do that, and we're going to give you that special report away for free. It's part of the contest for sharing all the viral stuff that we're doing, but we're going to add a little twist to that today. Yafat, you want to tell them what the twist is?
Yes, and I already see in the comments that people, some of them already own it, and some people are going to own it. So today, in order to win this great book, what you need to do is share in the comments whether you already have Celerator or whether you are going to buy today, and I think you will because you're going to see what's coming. Share the #1 reason that you know why you need the Celerator. Now, we know you're going to say sales copy, but we really want specifics. How is it going to help your sales copy? Is it going to be speed? Is it going to be what words to put on what slide? Is it going to be the order? Is it specific words? Let us know in the comments, and tomorrow we are going to tell you who is the lucky winner of the Modality book. And actually, I asked Jon for a sales page for that if people want to buy this. This is not for sale. So put in the comments, let us know why how Celerator can help you. And also one last thing, the link to join the Hangout is not active now. It will become active when we open it up for the Q&A. We want to get you through the training first and then let you come in if you have questions. So Scott, this is not available right now, but it will be. Jon, do you want to tell them what they can win today, like that insane bonus that you have now, or do you want to start with the training first?
You know what? I'm going to tell them one more thing. I changed my mind on who's going to win that modality marketing thing.
Really? After that long speech? I had such a long speech prepared.
Yeah. You know what we're going to do? We're going to give it to anyone, a free copy of that to anyone that writes anything other than I want it for sales copy or something blasé like that. If you write something that's remotely, I want it to be your own words, something that's inspiring, moving, motivating, true honesty. You can be as curt as you want. You can be as authentic as you want. Anyone that writes something like that, let's just plan to give it to them. So I'll make this bonus available to everybody because it's just going to help you a whole lot in all of your marketing. So this is a different thing. I changed my mind because I like, this could really help a whole lot of people, but I really want to hear from you. So it helps us because it helps create the viral traffic, but also I want to help you guys. So how's that?
And they say, you're not a good person. I don't know.
I don't know who says that except you, but
No, I know. One of the comments that someone left yesterday is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And I think you've just demonstrated that you truly, really care about everyone joining here and everyone who's joining your group. So this is just another proof, icing on the pudding.
Thanks. It is true. It is true. So
it is true. So let's dive into the training. To that.
Awesome. Well, it is very important. And you mentioned one thing before we get into the training. You mentioned something about do you want to reveal something? Is that what I'm not really sure.
Yeah. Do you want to reveal it now? Do you want to reveal it in the middle or?
No, I'm going to reveal it. I'm going to reveal it
Okay.
Toward the end. So yeah. So here's what we're going to do today. You're going to need to have the worksheet that I supplied for day 1. It's day 6, excuse me. And this is step 1 of my VSL formula. The emails that went out last night and that other people are sending out today have the phrase marketing suicide in the subject line. So if you get something from me saying marketing suicide, open it. I thought it was a lot of fun to write that email, and you know what? The reason I got that idea is because someone told me that, you're giving this away. That's marketing suicide, man. And I totally disagree. I think that giving away even my most prestigious thing, my most coveted thing, which is this 5-step VSL formula. People know the 5 steps because I talk about them all the time, but people have never seen inside the 5 steps every single little step that's involved, so much so that it's going to take me 5 full 1-hour segments to go over it with you guys. That's a lot of value. So here's my theory behind that. I'm just going to roll up the sleeves. Look, nothing up my sleeves. Literally, there's nothing up my sleeves because I'm wearing a short sleeve shirt. Sure, I want to be completely honest with you about the value of this thing. Oh my gosh, I forgot my wedding ring. My wife is going to kill me. I left it on the shower. Check this out. I really believe that if I give you, this is like 70%, I can't say 90% because so much of this is the sales copy itself. If I have to give you this formula, at least it will show you not only how well thought out this is and why so many marketers have made, well, $1 billion, that's a lot of money, why that figure is so high. You'll see exactly how well thought out it is. But I'm going to give you the tools that you can, if you really, 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 really want to try this on your own, and yeah, sure, some people may be able to figure out what exactly to write in those lines, then now you'll have the blueprint to do that. So I'd rather give you an insane amount of value and show you that, yeah, I'm really serious about caring about your future. And then after that, at the same time, I show you exactly what's included inside of here to where you guys go, oh, I get it. I really see why this thing is the Ferrari of marketing tools. I get it now. So that was the strategy behind it. Nothing up my sleeve. I'm completely being transparent. But it's also the most fantastic training that I've ever done. I've never, ever done this. So in all of my years, I've never broken down every step except for, well, I'll take that back, except for once. It was an 8-hour, $2,500 a piece paid presentation.
Wow.
Paid presentation. So that's the only time I've ever done this. So I've never done it for free. So are you guys ready? Do you have the worksheet in front of you? If you don't, I hope that you're scribbling fast and furious. Ready? I'm going to share my screen, and we're going to go to the Celerator platform itself. So you should be looking at the Celerator software platform itself. Now, you can see, everybody see that?
There we go. Now we see it. Yep.
We good?
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
I'm off camera, so I can pick my nose, scratch my hair, and all that.
And wait, before you get started. Celerator.
Awesome. And you should probably mute me because we're hearing that echo. Okay, so this is the Accelerator interface. And I'm not gonna, this is not a tutorial on the software. We'll do that like day 4 or day 5 to give you the full tutorial. I'm actually using this as a teaching tool. If you're on a microscopic monitor like a smartphone, or like my assistant's on an 11-inch monitor, and you can't make out every word, don't worry. That's why I got that worksheet for you for the slides. And if you still don't have that, don't worry. We're recording this, and you can watch this on a replay, zoom it up, and it's perfectly high res. Now, just so you know, I'm going to use my mouse to show you what's going on here. This is the getting started session. The very first thing you'll do when you log into Celerator is you're going to get started. You're going to create a project, and as you can see under here, I can create as many projects as I want. I can. This is just my demo model, but I can create an infinite number of. There's no limit to the number of VSLs or sales pages that you can create within Celerator. You can also copy ones that are effective, change the intros, those kind of things. And as you're building it over here, these are essentially your PowerPoint or Keynote slides that you're going to need to create your final VSL. And I'm going to close this day out with a VSL so you can see exactly what this looks like. There's nothing fancy to it. But part of the hassle of a VSL is typing into PowerPoint or Keynote slide after slide after slide. Well, when I show you this, when I show you all the copy, as you can see, these are all the slides already automatically put into this program for you. So all I have to do when I'm done is click this button right here, and it exports the completed PowerPoint and Keynote slide to where all you have to do is bold certain words and put an image or two in there, record over it, and that's done. And it teaches you how to do that right over here where it says producing your VSL. It's very easy to do that part. Or you can just farm that out for a few $100 and have somebody do it for you. That's what we like to do. That's the easiest part of that. So I'm going to hide all the copy for now and just show you this how clean the interface is. I'm a big believer in clean. We spent a lot of money designing the interface, working with the bootstrap companies that we used the components for, and everything is super slick. And as you're going to see on every single section, there is a tutorial video. This is the toolbox video, and the toolbox just tells you, here's how we're approaching copy in general. We're going to talk about what's called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. I'm not a big NLP guy. I'm by no means an NLP master. I use elements of it, like I use elements of hypnotic writing. I use elements of persuasion tools. I use elements of a lot of different writing styles. This is all found within the toolbox, little things that most people don't do when it comes to copy that you really do need to do. So after you get through all of this, you'll walk through your USP factory, and as you see when I click on it, you'll watch a video, and you can actually choose the pre-existing copy right here, and it literally builds this in this little slide. It's really kind of cool. So I want you to have a good USP. I want you to know a little bit about storytelling. So here's a brief tutorial on stories, and I actually have a whole story formula later on in here, so don't worry about it. Just wanted you to take some notes and just some general notes to get started. And that's really the getting started section. I didn't want to spend too much time on that because let's dive into step 1. Step 1 is called the snap suggestion. The snap suggestion. And it's called that because the idea behind snap suggestion is a pattern interrupt. In fact, that is section, if you're looking at the formula right now, you should be looking at step 1, step 2, this is A and B, step 3, step 4, etc. So snap suggestion is step 1. Pattern interrupt is the very first section underneath that. If I click on that, it's going to load the video. It's a 38, that's the longest tutorial video in here, by the way. 38 minutes to talk about why pattern interrupts are so important and how to snap your user into an attention-grabbing state. Why is that so important? Because people are coming to your website expecting to see something based on a topic that you're talking about, whether it's finance, weight loss, dating, whatever. What they're not expecting to see is what's going to be included in this video. And it's very important because the internet is full of noise, and this will help you break through the clutter and the noise. And the reason we call it snap suggestion is because I came up with the metaphor and we mentioned this in one of the earlier hangouts. If you're in picture this, if you're in a conference and you see like 5 or 10 people that you don't know, and they're gathered outside the conference and they're talking and they're kind of being quiet, they're having a private conversation, and you just walk up right into the middle of the conversation and you go, and you snap your fingers right in the middle of that group of people, what do you think is going to happen? Everyone is going to stop what they're doing, and they're going to look at you like you're insane. They're going to look at you like, what the hell is this person doing? Yeah, I mean, so here's what's really interesting, is studies have been done on this. The people that haven't, it doesn't matter what their conversation is about, they will have a hard time getting back to their original train of thought. Like, how many times has this happened to you? Like, oh crap, that guy just interrupted. What were we talking about? Man, I don't remember. All I can think about is that goofy Snap guy. So that's what you want to do on your sales page, but hardly anyone does it unless they know this formula. And certainly no one knows how, very few people know how to get it to where it's really clever. And that's what this is about, with example after example. And I'm only going to show you this on a couple of places, because not only do I give you infinite amount of power words and phrases that you can go through anytime you want, pop in these slides anytime you want, I actually give you the copy. So I give you all these different kinds of interrupts, and all you have to do is just change these variables, and presto, you got it. So there's multiple different forms of pattern interrupts in here, and I'll show you a few other copy examples, but that's what makes Celerator so powerful. The moment I click and choose any of that, it pops in here, I hit save, and it populates right over here, just like this. So boom, that's there. I don't have to do any typing except to change my name. Not too difficult to do that kind of stuff. And this teaches you how to find your pattern interrupt attention grabber. This is a very important video, because it's that the first 5 seconds of a VSL is huge. The first 20 slides of your VSL is the most important, other than your close. That's why we spend some extra time on this. Okay, on to step number 2, your big promise. What is your big promise? You're just going to say, hey, this is what you're going to learn in this video. In this video, you're going to discover blank, blank, and blank. And I like to narrow that down to one big promise. You're going to discover the one thing that's keeping you back from blank. You're going to discover the fastest way to blank. You're going to discover it's one thing. Then you can go on and say, now I'm also going to give you 3 tips to blank and blah, 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 blah. So you can also include a lot of benefits in there, but don't overload it right there. You want to focus on one thing. Remember, the goal of a sales letter is to get your customer to believe one major idea. So the big promise is that major idea. And you may be asking yourself, well, how do I come up with that major idea? Well, this is what these videos are about. That's why you watch these videos. So under big promise, you have a watch this now. This is the reason why you want to watch this video right now. The reason why is because you're going to discover the one big thing to blank. Okay, you're going to give them one reason to watch this video now. And then you're going to give them benefits. Benefits for watching this video now. This is like 2 to 3 miniature tips that you can cover real quick to say, hey, here's what else you're going to learn. You're going to learn 3 foods that you want to avoid if you want to slim down. You're going to discover 5 simple ways to blah, blah, blah. Very, very quick, simple tips that people can walk away going, this is not a sales video. This is an information video. That's one of the main reasons VSLs work so well. The next section underneath this is scarcity. Scarcity is very important. You want to give your users a reason to watch this video right now and watch it all the way to the end. Now, let me talk a little bit about this. False scarcity is used all the time. And one thing that I've said that's not technically false is you need to watch this video before I take it down, because I change my videos frequently. So it's true. You watch this video before I take it down. I'm not saying there won't be another video up there, but I will take it down. One of the best ones that I use, and I actually have this in, I'll show you just look how much sample copy you can choose. You can choose. We just keep populating this, by the way. So this is taken from all these award-winning video sales letters that make 6, 7, 8, even 9 figures. So we know these slides work really, really well. So this is one of my favorite. Warning, I'm getting pressure from Google, and I actually use Google to take this free presentation down. So you can just imagine that people going, wait, what the hell? Why is he getting pressure? I actually wrote that on purpose because on 2 video sales letters I really was getting pressure from Google to take it down. I was getting a lot of pressure. In fact, they kept banning me. So that's why that slide got put in there. You see it on other video sales letters that it's not necessarily true, but in my case, it was true. So you've got a lot of different reasons and ideas to get people to watch it now. It may be that you're going to turn it into a paid presentation. It may be that you're going to just take it offline. But you need to create the scarcity so they can watch it right now and watch it all the way to the end. And then you move into the next section. This is something completely different. And this is very important because when someone's watching your VSL or reading your sales page, at some point, usually right off the bat, they're going to go, oh, I've seen this before. Oh, this is yet another video sales letter, as someone said. Oh, another weight loss thing. This is where you just say, look, you may think you've seen it all. You may think you've tried everything, but I can guarantee you there's something completely different in here for you. And the phrase, there's something here for you, is an NLP embed. And basically, it really locks the subconscious into, like, I need to stick around and figure out what's in here for me. So that's why I really like those words. I'd be showing you slides on every single one of these, but I'm not going to do that. You guys already get the point that I've got slides and copy for every single slide and paragraph inside of a video sales letter. And at the same time, by the way, this is building your sales page. Really nifty. But that's the gist of getting of something completely different. This is nothing like you've ever seen before. Now, here's a little rah-rah for that. I would really love that to be true for you. So again, this comes back. And don't worry, these videos coach you on how to do this, to find your big promise. Your big promise is associated with, this is why it's all in order, your big promise is associated with this right here. Under Getting Started, your USP. What makes this unique? That's why I have a whole video series. It's a 5-minute video that teaches you how to create a USP. Very simple, but once you get that, then you'll have a very good reason to make, you'll know what your big promise is. And when you say this is completely different, you can anchor it to this big promise. Because you say, look, just like I told you, you're going to discover blank. That's why this is completely different. You've never seen this before. And I use what I call my trademark technique. I always trademark, sometimes literally trademark, but I'm using the phrase euphemistically here. I'll put it like, I'll put a TM, and sometimes I will literally trademark it, but I will come up with a coined phrase for something like, look, this is something completely different. You've never heard of caloric staggering, the caloric staggering technique until today. So even if you've seen 100 different websites on weight loss, this is completely different. And this ends, this by the way, this is the shortest section that we have. Step 1 is the shortest. The other 4 sections are longer. And step 5 is the grand offer. Without step 5, everything falls apart because that is the pitch. So we get to that on the last day, so you guys hang with me. So the last step in step 1 is let's make a deal. You're just going to make a deal to the user to say, listen, watch this all the way to the end, and I guarantee these, I'm going to fulfill on these promises. Is that a deal? And it's a question. Do we have a deal? Is that a deal? Because when people say, do we have a deal, usually the answer is yes if it's a decent deal. So I'm saying, look, I'm going to give you all this information for free, and I'm going to solve the #1 pain point that you have. Again, this is right under the benefit formula. By the way, the benefit formula is an actual formula. So in other words, I tell you exactly how to create benefits, and I'm going to go ahead and click on that right now and show you something. Here's the very simple formula that I use. Go ahead and copy it. Power words without negative effects. That's the simple positive benefit formula. So you make a positive benefit, you use the word without, and then you use negative effects. Now the very simple way of doing this is like you're going to discover how to drop all the weight that you want without doing hours of mind-numbing cardio. You're going to discover 4 tasty foods that you can eat without having to worry about cooking, hours of cooking in the kitchen. Do you see where I'm going with that? So you want both of those inside the benefit formula. You want the positive without the negative. And the negatives, again, are often much heavier in the consumer's mind. That's why I say something positive without negative, negative, negative. You don't have to use 3 negatives, but that's okay if you do. That's the very simple benefit formula. There's a much more elaborate benefit formula inside the Celerator tutorials, inside later on here when you get into the bigger solution. But that will give you something to lock the user into what they're going to discover. So, because right now you've got to understand, this is the first 2 to 5 minutes of your video sales letter. And unless you nail this, they're going to window out every single time. So it's very important that you give someone a very interesting thing to break their pattern, a good promise, a reason to watch it right now, The reason why it's something completely different, they've never seen anything like this before, and a deal. And included in all that is, here's what you're going to learn. Your big promise is the one thing, but you're also going to discover the blank without the blank, then the blank without the blank. Very important to do those blanks without the blanks, because you might say that one big promise is somebody might say, well, that's kind of interesting. But then you go into the benefit formula, and if you've done your homework, like we talked about earlier, if you've asked your list, if you've surveyed your people, if you've done everything that we've already talked about, you're going to know their top 3 pain points. You don't have to go on and on here. You can just list 2 or 3 benefits. You're also going to discover, for example, one of the pain points we discovered from surveying my wife Andrea's list for her phenomenal product called My Bikini Butt. And it's obvious. Again, I love titles that are obvious. My Bikini Butt. What do you think the product's about, folks? Getting a great butt for women, probably not for men unless you like to wear bikinis. So, but what we found out is that the My Bikini Butt audience, we were thinking it would be like 25 to 35. No, it's 38 and older is the primary buyer, and their number one concern is, I want to look good. It's the cellulite on my butt that I don't like. So we reformulated our sales message because, wow, well, we know that when you build muscle and that when you do these kind of exercises, the muscle tends to smooth out the cellulite, tends to push out against the skin. So we just changed the marketing message. What do you think happened to our sales? What do you think I added to the benefit formula? You're going to discover a way to smooth out your cellulite without expensive creams or potions that you know will never work, that you've already tried. This doesn't work. So people are going, oh, wow, I'll watch this just to figure out how to smooth out the cellulite. And then we actually give the tip inside the VSL. So I want to close this section out by saying this. You're putting these promises in place, but you're putting them in place with the complete guarantee to your viewer that you're going to tell them the answers that you say. Now, here's the really under-the-radar stealth trick to this. The last benefit, and as you'll see when we get down to, we're not there yet, folks, step 3, we got a couple of days to go. When you get down to the big problem, you'll see how we actually have tips and steps, exact steps to follow, exact word-for-word things that you can use to create your tips and how to position them. But the last tip comes back down to one of these promises. And guess what? The promise is only fulfilled when you buy the product. So you can tell them the general overview of the promise. For example, my caloric staggering technique for every other day diet. What you want to do is eat a little more food on one day, eat a little less food on the other day, and that way you can eat some of your favorite foods on one day. You eat a little less on the other day, so you're never 24 hours away from your favorite food, so you can just keep going. It's a very psychologically friendly thing. Now, you may be wondering, how do I do that? What's the specifics behind it? Well, you don't have to wonder because I put it all into a book. So I gave them the tip, but I left the tip wide open for welcome to the product. Now we're going to cover that again in step 3, which is 2 days from now. But first, and tomorrow is extremely important, because let me tell you this section right here. Now we covered this section. We're done with Snap Suggestion. We're done with all the stuff inside Snap Suggestion. It's funny because I keep clicking the screen. Under Vital Connection, as you're going to see, I'm just going to give you just a little John here. There's a lot of stuff to cover under there, and it's so important that you establish that vital connection between you and your prospect, that even if you have the most kick-ass tips imaginable, if you don't relate to their pain, if you don't make them feel understood, they will never buy from you. They will only the most desperate will buy from you, and guess what desperate people tend to do? They tend to refund. So the power of Celerator and the power of this VSL formula is that it has been designed from the ground, re-engineered actually from the ground up, to make sure that you have the most persuasive selling message that also delivers radical value to your prospects. If they walk away without buying, they're going to go, damn, that was a really awesome presentation. I did not know that blank, blank, or blank, or blank. I did not know that. And they're going to come back and share it with their friends. Eventually, they'll probably become a customer. Not only that, it's going to ensure that they don't refund as rapidly because, again, you're not appealing to desperation. Write this sentence down. It is far more important for you to know how to compel than to coerce. Compelling is the secret to all great copywriters. If you had to figure out how to use the I call it compelling technique. If you had to use the compelling technique and had to figure it out on your own, you would need to spend like years studying copywriting. The compelling techniques are already built into Celerator, so you don't have to spend years. You just have to click buttons and then change that to meet your personal verbal, the way that you would personally speak to your audience. So, last but not least, inside snap suggestion. All of this has one really super awesome added benefit. It's the formula that we know works. It's the order that we know works. The copy, yes, you're going to want the specific copy, of course, but you can alter the copy to make your own voice be heard, and that's what all these short persuasion formula videos are about. How would I change that? Well, here's what I'm doing. Here's another way you might want to do it. Here's yet another way. And when you find out about what I'm going to share with you today about how there's a whole group, 1,000 marketers strong and growing, that are sharing these ideas, like here's what I did for my benefit formula, here's what I did to create scarcity, you're going, oh wow, that's cool, that wasn't even in Celerator, I think I'll take that. So we're kind of creating almost a wiki-esque like community with sales copy that we know works, and that's very important. Because there's a lot of courses out there that talk about the importance of sales copy and go over very high level conceptual ideas, like for example, you should compel rather than coerce. You should focus on persuasion. You should always focus on the you effect. You should always get the not effect. Yes, all that's true. We've talked about all that, but that don't give you the words. They make you figure it all out on your own. Well, what I did was a little bit different. I wrote all the words in actual sales letters that actually made millions and millions of dollars, took the words from various different components, put them all together, and believe it or not, you have over 1 million iterations of a possible VSL in here, and that's if you don't create one slide of your own. What tends to happen with the 3X VSL customers and 3X Accelerator customers is that they get into this and they go, oh, wow, now I get it. Now I get that whole benefit thing. Okay, well, you know how I would say it? I would say it like this. And next thing you know, you got a whole fresh VSL. You know what? Instead of a pattern interrupt, I'm going to use this. It's a different kind of pattern interrupt. Wow, you've got a brand new VSL. So that's how this stuff works. It's like I will teach you what it takes in the method that I go through to be creative in these videos. I will give you the sample copy to get you started. So at the bare bones minimum, point, click, change your name, change your topic, go to the next line. But eventually, once you start watching these videos, you're going to go, I get it. I get why saying it that way makes it work and saying it the way I'm saying it doesn't. So I'm going to change this, maybe change it a little bit more to my pattern. I'm a little softer, or maybe I'm a lot more aggressive, and boom, you've got your own custom VSL and sales page, by the way. Because at the same time that I was building this PowerPoint thing, check what else I was building. All of my copy right here. Cut, paste, presto, into an HTML editor, throw a few headlines into the mix, and presto, sales page. So
that's awesome.
it is as you can now tell, just from step one, this is by far and away the easiest way to get a video sales letter or a sales page done. And as you can tell by the software and the training, it's extremely in-depth. It covers every single nuance of what you need to know. And I don't leave any stone unturned. I want to make sure that we cover this. It took literally a year to reverse engineer everything that we knew that was working to create these 5 simple steps. It took another year to test them to make sure that they were all working. I could not believe the test that we were getting from marketers, and obviously we were using this for our own stuff, but I don't like to talk about my own stuff that much because I'm a professional copywriter. I don't think it's fair for me to say, yeah, I wrote a VSL that made, $100 million. I don't think that's fair because, first of all, it's very rare that you can do that, and second of all, I'm a professional copywriter. What I like to talk about is people who aren't. And so that's why you'll see people in all these, we've got hundreds and hundreds of testimonials, and they all come from, most of them come from people like you that are either newbies or intermediate level marketers that are not copywriters. They don't want to be copywriters. They just want to use the power and persuasion of these words that get cash and don't want to have to worry about becoming a copywriter or certainly not hiring a copywriter. And when we're ready, Yafat, I've got a presentation that's, believe it or not, I know this is going to sound hard to believe. It's a video sales letter. It's a video sales letter. And I'm actually going to show you, I'm going to close you on a video sales letter. And I'm going to show you just flat out why this thing works so well. And how it can be used in any format. So this has been such a fun format. I can't wait for step 1 to step 2, step 3, step 4. The step 1 thing I knew was going to go like really. I had to focus on like the importance of getting your ethical message down, fulfilling your promises. But I'm hoping that now that you've seen it spelled out, this is everything in step 1. You've got everything, but of course the automation, the sales copy, and the persuasion course. So can't give you everything, but you've got a lot of tools now at your disposal. So that is
Jon, I want to support everything that you're saying right now, and you can unshare your screen, because we are getting a ton of unsolicited testimonials from people saying that they already own the Celerator, and some of the stuff that they're saying, I just have to share it. And actually, before I do, guys, let me just make the link to join the Hangout active, so that if you refresh the page right now, the link to join the Hangout is going to bring you into the Hangout with us, so you can ask us questions. And while you do that, let me just share some of this, because I'm reading them and I'm like, wow. So Daniel says, I'm the proud owner of Celerator. Yes, it's absolutely fantastic for sales copy, but it's also been proven invaluable in helping me craft better emails and deliver more persuasive live presentations. I've been in and around copywriting for 3 decades, and this is hands down the best investment I've ever made in my ability to communicate and in my business, period. Well done, Jon.
Well, thanks, Daniel. Thank you. And by the way, I want to say this. I asked Celerator members to come on and say, if you want to come on the live hangout. I did not ask anyone to come on and say, hey, say something really praiseworthy or whatever. I asked them to come on and let me ask them questions. So this is unsolicited, so thank you guys. Appreciate that, man.
So another really awesome unsolicited one is Douglas. He said, I have gotten the 3 Accelerator and thought it would help me with writing copy. I did not expect what I found. It not only handed me every part of the VSL that I needed, it suggested areas I did not know I needed. Those make the VSL even better to put together. Maybe a top copywriter could live without it, but if you are not at the top, it is like having a top copywriter looking over your shoulder.
This is unsolicited, so thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, sorry. Another really awesome unsolicited one. Guys, when you come in here, you gotta mute. And I have gotten the 3X. I didn't know that you're gonna jump this quickly. Okay, so he said, it's like having a top copywriter looking over your shoulder and suggesting each part that you need. This tool is incredible.
I did not expect what I found.
A school inside a tool. I love it, Jon. Thank you. And there we go. So, and guys, as you're jumping in, thank you so very much. There is a question coming up. And one of the questions is, your software really, really rocks and makes writing copy a breeze. Here's a question for you, though. All of our sales letters that we create are inside your software and obviously stored on your system. So who exactly has access to it? Do you or anyone on your team have access to our personal sales stuff? In other words, how secure is this information?
The only people that have access to your sales material other than yourself is anyone that on your team that you share passwords with, and you can change your password at any time, and that would mean that literally only one person in the world, and that's not even me, would have access to it. But let me tell you, we don't have time to dig through your sales copy, man. I mean, it's proprietary as it gets. Well, I'll put it this way. Like right now, your Gmail account, there's someone at Google that has access to your Gmail account, whether you like it or not, because they have to. There's a database with all the passwords and stuff like that. We never look at other people's sales copy. We never use it as tutorials. It's just it's a very very private thing. But that's a great question. And so obviously, let me tell you one thing that we've done to make sure that it doesn't get around. When you buy Celerator, you get 3 user licenses, and what that means is that you can have 3 people access it from one browser each. or you can access it from 3 different devices. So example, I'm looking at my home computer here that's got 3 monitors. I have my laptop that's sitting right here. See right there, my laptop. So that might be a way that I could access it, as well as my iPhone. And you're wondering, iPhone? Yeah, it's smartphone friendly. We had to make Celerator 3 smartphone friendly, so we did. And I know people that instead of playing games on their smartphone, they literally just make money on it. They write video sales letters on their smartphone. A funny story, way off tangent, but it's funny. I wrote, believe it or not, I was a ghostwriter for Charlie Sheen and a couple of other famous people. And the book didn't make it because Charlie Sheen went crazy, as most of you probably know. This was right during the Tiger Blood thing, and I'd never done something like this before. And a friend of mine said, "Hey, you're an awesome writer. Have you ever ghostwritten?" I said, "No, but I would love the opportunity." So I got to hang out with Charlie for a couple months and get to know him and all that stuff. And he's actually, just for sake of conversation, he's a really gracious and nice guy. He's not nearly as insane as people think he is, but he was, kind of getting crazy. And during that process of ghostwriting, it taught me just, oh my gosh, I can't even believe how much that taught me about just human nature and how to tailor make this stuff to where it really basically let me go back and look at Accelerator copy in general and say, wow, now that I'm writing as another person, how does that make me feel? And anyway, a side tangent on the note of writing in general, but I don't know if that addressed the question or not, but I apologize for skipping way off the tangent of the moon there, but Yafat, maybe you can reel me back in.
Maybe, let me try, like that.
Yeah.
Since I have the water behind me. But yes, I think security is very, very important, and you just, yeah. And
security. I knew I was going somewhere with that. So it was like, okay, so ultimate security, as you can imagine, you really, really tight-lipped. And even then, it's like as ultimate security, but except for his attorney and except for the publisher, all that kind of stuff. So with Celerator, it's really, really pretty cool. But anyway, I'm over. I now remember what the hell I was going with. So I'm over at his house one night, and we're talking, and Snoop Dogg comes walking in. And everything you've heard about Snoop Dogg is true. I mean, he comes walking in like everyone gets a contact high the moment he walks in the door. It's unbelievable. And he's like 6'9" billion. He's like really freaking tall. Nice guy, completely chill as you can imagine. But he's over there on his I call it a Crackberry. It was a BlackBerry phone. He's doing this I go, I didn't know what to call him. I said, Mr. Dog or Snoop or whatever. I said, Snoop, what are you doing? He goes, I'm riding my next VS. I'm writing my next hit. I go, what do you mean? He goes, I wrote my last 2 albums on this thing. I go, really? He goes, yeah, I don't play games. I make money. I was like, dude, that's so awesome. That's what Celerator is. I made it to where you can make money on your smartphone. So that's where I was going with that. I totally got off on a tangent, but thank you for reeling me back in there.
So Eric, for some weird reason, every time you join in, you are not muted. Weird. Okay, that works.
All right.
Mute yourself. Mute yourself. I don't know why for Eric it doesn't work. Something special on his thing. So we will start with Martin. Martin has a question. So Martin, let me unmute you.
Okay, we're going to take a couple of questions, and then I'm going to give you the presentation, and then I'll take any questions after that because we want to make sure that we get the presentation.
Actually, this is important. Do you want to tell them what the insane bonus is today, right now, or after the presentation?
I'm going to ask you guys, would you like to hear what I have in store for you? Like the cool stuff and the one thing that no one's ever heard of before, no one's ever seen before?
Raise your hands if you do, right here.
Yes, who wants to hear that? And then I promise you I will stay as long as it takes to take your questions. But we start, this is where it gets serious. And when you hear why, you'll go, okay, I get it. I know why this is like a time period kind of thing. So it's up to you guys. I can do either or.
I think they want to hear it. I think everybody wants to hear it.
Well, I want to show it to you. So let me actually show this to you because this is kind of fun. Why on earth do anything else but actually show you this screen?
That's why we want to hang out. Exactly.
Yeah, if you can mute, that'd be great, Yafat, and I'll get started here. So guys, I want you to watch this short presentation and see how you can get Celerator for free. Do I have your attention now? In case you're wondering, what was that called? That was called a pattern interrupt, right? Yeah, everybody's going, ooh, ah, what on earth does he mean? Is he actually going to give it to us for free? Well, I'll tell you what. Now that you've seen the Celerator, oh, by the way, just I'll tell you what I mean in just a moment. Now that you've seen Celerator in action and you've experienced just a small fraction of what that automated selling power can do for you, and that Celerator delivers to online business owners around the globe, and now that you know beyond a doubt that the most vital component in your marketing arsenal is your sales copy. Yeah, you guys know that, right? I mean, the last 5.5 days have proven that to you. Every marketing pro will agree with that statement, that your most vital component in your marketing arsenal is your sales copy. Every single one of them will agree with it. There is not one that will disagree with that. Frankly, only a fool or a dreamer would dare to dispute this fact. And that's being as blunt as I can. However, the most shocking thing you'll see today isn't the Celerator software, isn't all that cool push button copy. It's the fact that the Celerator actually costs you nothing at all. Nothing at all. It's 100% free. Just relax. Just relax. It's absolutely free the second time that you use it. It doesn't cost you money. It makes you money. Here's what I mean. A video sales letter or a sales page is a $30,000 to $50,000 proposition. Do you get that? A $30,000 to $50,000 proposition. That is a lot of money. And guys, that is if you're hiring a B-list copywriter. I charge $100,000 or more. That's assuming you're lucky enough to find one of those B-list copywriters, a decent copywriter, and you have the time it's going to take them to research your product, because they're going to have to do that. They're going to have to get to know your personal story, do the research that you will have to pay for out of your own pocket, by the way, and finally sit down and write your VSL for you. That's the process they go. Now, this process not only costs you upwards of $50,000, it costs you time. And I think everyone here knows that time equals money. That's an equation that's as solid as E equals MC squared. Time equals money, especially in the hyper-evolving world of internet marketing. No world moves faster than this world. And another thing, you won't learn a damn thing having someone like a hired gun write your video sales letter, spend months on it. You're not going to learn anything. That means that you're going to have to repeat this process over and over and over again, paying more and more guys or girls to write your copy, because even the best sales letters in the world and video sales letters, the stuff even I've written, they all have a half-life. They all have a half-life. As the world's top paid VSL copywriter and the creator of the VSL, I think I'm more than qualified to tell you the truth about what you're up against. You're either going to nail your sales message, and you're going to nail it right now, and you're going to nail it ASAP, or you're going to drive another nail into your internet coffin. Your situation really is that dire, and sugarcoating this problem is not going to be serving you at all. Remember, sales copy is the oxygen of your business. Joe Polish quote. And without a cash cow VSL working for you 24/7, they work around the clock, your business is starved of the oxygen it requires to survive. Death is inevitable unless you can hold your breath an awful long time. Now, there's good news for those who want to breathe new life into your online sales. Celerator has what I call zombie-like powers. It really does. Resurrecting the sales of just about every product or service it touches and giving you new life in the form of oxygen-rich cash windfalls. Or if you'd like, waterfalls. My 5-step VSL formula found within the Celerator continues to be the 911 sales savior from dead-in-the-water marketers from every part of the globe. And listen, before I go any further and show you one after the other, guys, girls, everything that have experienced success with this, let me tell you, I've been where you are. I have been where you're going. Whether you're an existing business, new business, I've been that lone guy that just wanted to break out on my own, start working from home, start working in my boxer shorts. I've been that guy. I've been there, and believe you me, I'm telling you right now, it's stark raving mad to go without this tool for just one day. It really is. That's just the way it is. Now, that's my personal take on why you need this. But I'm going to go beyond sharing my personal take. I'm going to tell you about how Accelerator has helped propel the world's top marketers, guys you know, into greater levels of success. And this is just a handful, okay? By the way, I screen captured these videos to prove to you that it's not just written testimonials. These are all videos. Ryan Dice, digital marketer, this is what we use our in-house stuff. We use this. He farms this out to his in-house guys, $15 an hour guys, to write video sales letters that make them millions of dollars. Andy Jenkins, known for his beautiful videos, not only a good friend, but one of the most ethical guys I know when it comes down to marketing. He just does it, makes it so simple for you, and time is money. They use it to write their VSL closes. Perry Marshall, one of my heroes. I could not believe he walked up to me at a conference and said, John, I couldn't stop watching these training videos, and I don't watch anyone's videos. It's not that he's arrogant, he doesn't have time. He simply said, it's outstanding. It's a full video with Perry and I on the website. Vin DiCarlo, Pandora's Box, $50 million a year video sales letter. Walked right through the Celerator to write it. He shows you all the steps, how to go through start to finish. Mike Palmer, probably the most lucrative video sales letter in history, the 9-figure a year End of America VSL. Even he's getting an incredible amount of great information out of this work. 9-figure VSL, how much better could it get? It got better. Mike Filsame, Evergreen Business Systems, I was able to write the first VSL he's ever written in 1 day using this formula. 1 day. I could go on, dozens of other 8- and 9-figure marketers. And that said, here's what really matters to you. Celerator's real success, and this is my personal passion, is in its ability to give everyday entrepreneurs like you guys a fair and realistic shot at the same kind of big-time sales success by giving you the power of these words to get cash in a proven and nearly automatic platform that requires virtually no writing skills whatsoever. Yeah, you'll have to write a few things here and there. You'll have to write an email today too, probably. But this is going to help you even do that. So you don't have to be a copywriter in the least to use this. That means the moment that you use the Celerator, it literally pays for itself and then some the moment that VSL hits the internet. Often exponentially, by the way, generating far more profits than your initial small investment, while letting you keep profits for as long as you own your business. Hey, this is important, very important, since you now realize how important copy is. You're thinking about paying someone to do this. No monthly fees, no royalties, no long delays, no hoping that some copywriters get it right. Remember, a video sales letter, any video sales letter, or sales letter of any kind, is a $30,000 to $50,000 proposition, no matter how you slice it. It doesn't matter how you slice it. So even if you were to scratch the surface with a Celerator and get just 10% of that value, 10% of the proving selling power for yourself, it's free the second time you use it, even 10% of it. It's a tool that pays for itself rapidly and consistently, as you will soon see. Now, since the Celerator empowers anyone, regardless of your marketing or writing experience, to crank out money printing VSLs and sales pages virtually on autopilot, yeah, you got to roll up your sleeves, folks. You're never going to hear me say automatically. It's all push button easy. It's virtually on autopilot. As you've seen, it's pretty damn simple. Here's the truth of it all. If that was all that Celerator managed to do for you, just that, it would be an absolute sin to let you have it for under $5,000. Robin Robbins, in the video that's on our website, says I'm a complete idiot for selling it for under $10,000. Complete idiot. She told me that before I ever released it. So for letting you have it for under $5,000, sin. Absolute sin. That's a fraction of what a VSL copywriter would charge you, and that is before they take that big old chunk of your profits forever for the royalty fees. However, as you've seen over the past few days, I have a bit of a habit. Maybe some people call it a bad habit. I think it's a great habit of radically over-delivering value to you guys. And I guess you could say that when it comes to giving you more than you expect, you know what? I'm a wretched sinner. In the best possible way. I'm a wretched sinner. I'm going to give you more than you think. That's why the complete Celerator system you're about to hear about now may not come as that much of a shock to you. You may be used to the fact that I over-deliver. Let's start with $2,100 investment that I'm going to take out of my pocket and put it into yours. I'm putting it into your future success. The $2,100 is not a made-up number. This is what I'm about to share with you actually costs if you were to buy it off the street. As much as I would like to promise you that you will follow through on your own, I just give you the Celerator keys after you pay for it, and presto, you drive up the lot. You know, and then you join the mile-long line of testimonials from guys and gals who range from the total newbies, as you're about to see, now making it online, all the way to the pros you just saw. I know for a fact that you need a bit of hand-holding when it comes to this. And that's why when you join the Celerator family today, you will not only get the training videos that you saw, the pre-written copy that you saw, taken from the top converting VSL copy tactics I've used for years, and that push-button simplicity that the Celerator online proprietary software gives you. This is software that you don't install. It follows you everywhere you go. All you need is a web browser, allowing you to click, select, save your way to a VSL PowerPoint or Keynote file Mac and PC friendly. You also are going to receive an unrealistic, it's too fantastic to believe, seriously, these are the phrases I've heard, yet 100% factual VIP add-on. 4 one-on-one Celerator implementation and marketing strategy coaching calls. Let me read that again. You're going to have a human being call you 4 times, one-on-one, from my Celerator team. They are my implementation and marketing strategy coaches. They're going to kick you in the butt and make sure you do this from start to finish. And more than that, this is just you, by the way. This is not a group call. Helping you implement your vision from the very start, making sure you get it done right. They've done this before. So just imagine it now. A professional marketing coach normally costs you $2,100 to hire, helping you from the very start, saving you months, even years of trial and error and frustration, plus giving you their valuable experience on how you can best market and position your product before you ever write a word. And if you don't even have a product yet, just picture this. How much faster would a coach help you inspire it to get it finally done? A coach will light a fire under your butt and get you going. So let me give you a recap of what you're going to receive today, as if any of this wasn't enough. Your lifetime Celerator VIP user license. Lifetime. No monthly Celerator VSL fees, and your access is guaranteed for the rest of your life as long as you're a good customer in standing. Now, others have paid $297 a month for this. You are locked in for life without continual monthly billing of any royalty fees whatsoever or any monthly billing for the software at all. Locked in for life. Plus, you get all 12 hours of the Celerator Persuasion System video training, the Celerator copy library that was written by me and it continues to be updated by me every single month, including multiple ready-to-edit samples of every single slide and paragraph of your VSL or sales letter, and a lifetime membership into my very exclusive members-only copy posse. It's a private Facebook community where unbelievable things happen. You can make deals. You can find affiliate partners. You can get answers to your most persuasive questions. And yes, I misspelled it on purpose. And so much more. Okay, combined together, your Celerator VIP membership has a line item value of about $8,500, give or take a few pennies. And that's before all the bonuses you're about to be handed as well. That's before all of this stuff. However, your lifetime access to Celerator VIP isn't going to cost you $8,500 because I'm not that kind of guy. It's not even going to cost you half that. It's not even going to cost you $2,500. That's for everything. Click on the button on the page that you're watching right now that says click here now to get 3x Celerator. I know it's a pretty vague button. Click here now to get the 3x Celerator. And you're going to get it. Well, you can also do this. You can open a new browser window right now and you can go to this hidden page. https://celerator.com/deal. Celerator, Celerator.com/deal. And it's all yours for $21.97. $21.97. That includes everything you just saw and everything you're about to see. $21.97. Or the first time I've ever done this before until last week, you can use our installment plan and do 6 easy payments of $397. 6 easy payments of $397. That's an installment plan. It's not a monthly thing. You're not going to be billed $397 every month for the rest of your life. This is an installment plan, 6 easy payments of $397. Now, you don't get some of the immediate bonuses with that, but you get the access to the Celerator. Look, that's an $800 savings over our February 1st going up price of $29.97. Yes, it goes to $29.97 for a very good reason. We are the Ferrari. Okay, a few average, everyday guys. Ken Wood. I'm going to make this very easy. Watched a webinar that I did, bought the course, applied my VSL formula to the VSL script he was using. Look at the difference. Old VSL, new VSL. Massive increase in retention just from going through the VSL formula. Took his old VSL, new VSL, look at the retention. Guess what it amounted to in sales? Double. Check this out. Eric Wan says, hipflexitysolution.com. He did a $110,000 launch right from the start. So his $2,000 invested in the training was well worth it. Now it's $21.97. So yeah, you rock. Ranish Jain, in case you're wondering if it can be used in a different country, Ranish is in India. Okay, India, using 3XS, which is 3 Accelerator principles, he created a small video to announce 2 free strategy sessions. He could only handle 8 clients at a time, collected 600 email IDs. The framework works like hell, thanks. So within 48 hours after signing up today, you will be assigned a personal Celerator coach. It may take 72 hours, but within 48 to 72 hours. And within days from that, you're going to be well on your way to having a high converting VSL working for you. It's really that simple. Now, before I cover, I have an etched in iron guarantee. I like iron better than stone. Iron sounds better. Have a look at the insane bonuses that I have lined up for fast action takers. And I've got one that's not on this slide that when I get to the very end is only available Tuesday, today's date. What's today's date, folks? Everyone say it. What's today's date? It is the 27th.
January 27th.
Tuesday, January the 27th. After that, if you buy it, tough. You ain't going to get it no matter how bad you ask. So wait till you get this. But these are the fast action bonus that you will get if you get it before February 1st. Okay. Now that, by the way, means before we raise the price to $29.97, which we're completely, absolutely doing. This is not false scarcity. 4 free gifts to accelerate your online business success, to accelerate your trajectory toward that freedom, lifestyle, income, and security that you're rightfully owed. Bonus number 1 is what I talked about earlier, the copy posse. That's a value of $297 a month, being generous. Yours free, lifetime access as long as you're in good standing. You've got it. You can just get in and you can do anything that you want in that copy posse. The only thing that we don't allow you to do is do blatant advertisement. But you can find people, like-minded entrepreneurs who understand you, appreciate you, what you're doing, what you're wanting to do, who are in the same place that you are, doing battle in the mean marketing streets, who are ready to share their knowledge and intel with you. That's the bonus. That alone is it's a priceless bonus. Bonus number 2, I don't have a product, John. Great, you get 28 days, you get one. The 28-day product creation formula, $497, I'm giving it to you for free. You'll have instant access to that. Follow me through day 1, day 2, day 3, all the way through 28 days, day by day, creating a product from conception to cash. I don't know what the concept is, but I'm going to take you from the concept. I don't even know what I want to write about. I'm going to give you the flow state concept tool so you can figure it out. Give you all the tools that you can survey to make sure that you get the right idea right off the bat, and then I'm going to walk you through how to create it, put it on ClickBank, make your first dollar within 28 days. It's yours free. Bonus number 3, $100 million Conversion Secrets Video Vault Series. Now, what on earth is that? Well, I don't know if you remember me telling this or not, but I got paid $2,500 a piece to go and teach these secrets to 30 of the highest paid marketers on the planet. In that room, all of Agora that does the Porter Stansberry, all of Agora Health, all of Boardroom, Vin DiCarlo, Robin Robbins. I go down the list of the famous marketers in that room, and I dissected their videos, their video sales letters. We made them better. And I taught this formula and got into crazy detail, 8 hours of crazy detail. I have sold this many, many times as an upsell. I am giving it to you for free. It's a $997 course. And let me tell you something. This is like being a fly on the money wall. That's what I call it. Because you're going to watch me teach these 9-figure elite marketers everything that I know about making their videos even better. So if you're an advanced marketer, this is going to be awesome for you to have. Awesome. And if it's not, that's great. That's cool because we've already included, if you got this already and you paid for it, we just uploaded more than $997 worth of value and freebies to everyone in our audience. We always take care of it. We've uploaded the email formulas online that we sold. Now it's yours for free. All the members get it for free. The headline formula, now it's yours for free, etc. So we always take care of people. And this one is only available before the Hangout is over, meaning that today only you're going to get this. If you get this today, Traffic Pros Crash Course. $997, yours free. These are 10 videos that we produced with some of the top traffic producers online. And we're talking free and paid traffic. So if traffic is a concern of yours, why not learn from the absolute experts how they're getting free and cheap paid traffic to their VSLs? Now you've got it all covered. You've got your product, you've got your sales message, you've got your traffic, all covered within this. And now, for bonus number 5 that you don't even see on the screen, you have to be paying attention to me. And this is a no, absolutely zero exceptions bonus. You have to order this course today. That's the only time I'm ever going to give this out. I charge $5,000 an hour to personally consult with somebody, to sit on the phone with you and say, here's what I would do. $5,000 an hour. Why so much? Because I'm worth it. Really that simple. Why do I get continual clients coming back? Because I make them money. It's that simple. So naturally, I don't send that out to everybody. Naturally, it's impossible because it's just an amount of hours in the day. But for everyone watching this right now, if you take action today, that's today, Tuesday. This is Tuesday. January was the 26th, I think it is. Tuesday. Is it the 27th? What's the day's date? I want to make sure I get the
27th, 2015, we should say. 2015.
Okay, 27th. Okay, January 27th, 2015. If you get this before that, that's when I'll give you as long to get it. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a half hour of my time free. I'm going to give you a call within the next 30 days. We'll set it up through my assistant, and I will call you and talk about a bonus. I'm going to make sure that you're on the right course, that you got the right pattern interrupt, that I'm going to give you some insights that nobody else is going to be able to give you in this world when it comes down to video sales letters. And if you want to talk marketing, we can talk marketing. If you want to talk advertising, we can talk advertising. Whatever you want to talk about. 30 minutes. That's a $2,500 bonus that literally pays for Celerator. This is not a bullshit price. This is the price that I get all the time. Ask anyone. I've done all last year, all this year. This is when I started the consulting, and I get it every single week. I'm going to give it to the people that buy it today. Half hour is all I'm going to do, but that half hour could make you a lot of money for free. Now, if that isn't worth the small price that we're going to invest today at $21.97 to Celerator, then you're in the wrong place or you don't want to make money. It's just that simple. Ben Pottinger, another guy in Australia, boom, first VSL they ever put up. Look at his ROI, 1,399% back. Took him 2 weeks part-time to do it. 2 days to get the ROI. Thanks, Jon. Badass. Giancarlo, I can't pronounce his last name. Thanks, Jon. Did the VSL again with your method. He had his own method. Generated $40,000 his first week so far. How about this one? John Stolt. Holy smokes. Yeah, I'm using the Celerator to write email copy. So it's not just sales copy. He's using it to write his emails. Quite a few people have already said that. That this is stuff that you can put into email. Stuff you can put into blog posts, sales pages, anything you write. You'll learn the secrets of persuasion. So click on that button right now that says click here to get the 3X Accelerator, and it's all yours for $21.97, or you can take the 6-pay option. Open a new browser window if you don't click on that button, and you can go to this hidden page, Celerator.com, Cellerator.com, /deal, and you will get it all for $21.97, including the coaching, including all the bonuses. If you act now, if you act today, you get me for half an hour. That's the deal that I'm offering. It's the deal that I'm offering for the rest of the week, except for me. Me goes away as of today. So you won't get me as of today. So act now. For anyone that's on the fence, this should push you well over the fence and get you ready to start making money.
So just to be clear, Jon, is it until the hangout is over, or is it until midnight Pacific?
The hangout, the Traffic Pros is until, I'll tell you what, I'll extend it to midnight Pacific. Midnight Pacific, yeah, because that's going to make it easy in case someone wasn't able to watch this. As long as you get this before my clock turns to Wednesday, I'll get you the Traffic Pros bonus, and I'll get you the half hour time. And by the way, I have to say this, guys. I have to say this. The half hour of time only comes when you pay in full. I won't do it for the. Sorry, I can't do the 6-pay for $3.97 because we just can't do that. So this is a pay in full bonus only. I apologize for not saying that earlier, but this is a pay in full bonus only. Most people do pay in full because you end up paying more money when you pay out, and it's a no-brainer investment. It's been, I mean, we got so many testimonials, we literally don't know what to do with them. I just shared a fraction of what we have. If you want to go to the sales page, you'll see exactly what I mean. But so if you pay in full, you'll get me for a half hour, but that's only today, the 27th of January, 2015.
I love that. Just, guys, you've seen it in the last 6 days how valuable picking Jon brains is. And I see people coming back over and over again just so they can get the next answer, the next answer. So imagine what you can get in a dedicated 30 minutes straight, just you with Jon. Jon, you can unshare your screen. So tonight up to midnight Pacific, you guys can get all these bonuses, I think it's way over delivering as always. So we'll start taking questions. Anyone who has a question, please raise your hand so I can just go directly to you instead of putting you on the spot. Eric, go for it.
We're gonna try Eric again.
Hi, Fuad. Can you hear me?
Hey,
Yes.
we got you this time. Yeah.
Awesome, John, dude. That was awesome. That was great to hear an expert do his work. So that was great. My question is, in section 1, the nightmare story, the vital connection part that you tell us we have to go over, specifically the nightmare story. I think it's probably because I've heard so many VSLs in this space. I've kind of got tired of hearing that same, part of the sales process. And but I wanted to ask you as the expert. I know that's important to go over that, but I would love to set up a presentation that really just talks about all the value of the product or service that we're offering. But I wanted to ask you, how important is that nightmare story, and then is there a way to do that presentation without going so much into the same I was poor, broke, and lonely up to now I'm a billionaire type of thing? Is there a way to do that without having that part?
Yeah, definitely. In fact, I had a nightmare story in this. I suggest you rewatch the VSL I just wrote. The nightmare story wasn't even about me. It was about
how important is that
and the nightmare story is very simple. This is what can happen: death. Okay. Of course, I'm using metaphor when I say online death. So that was a very brief nightmare story. So a lot of people that have high converting VSLs and they don't have a personal nightmare story, they'll just go into like, look, if you don't take action, here's what can happen: blank, blank, and blank. And it can be just literally 5 slides. Just so but I think the rapport part of that is so important that if you just say so much as simple like, look, I went through this myself. Our team went through this ourselves. We see people every day just like you going through this, and we want to help you avoid that pain. That's pretty much all you have to say. If you don't touch on a pain point, you're not going to be nearly as effective as in sales. So that's my recommendation. Come back tomorrow because we're going to go over the actual nightmare story tomorrow. So I'll go over it in more detail.
That was awesome, man. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Eric.
Jerry, let me unmute you, my friend. Just a second. There you go. Hold on. Can you hear? Sherry? You need to unmute yourself as well. On the top.
Unmute.
There you go. Perfect.
Okay, so I had a couple of questions. One was, is there a CRM aspect to the Celerator? Can I replace my Infusionsoft?
No. Yeah, that's how I would. Okay, we take the Basecamp. Are you familiar with Basecamp?
Not yet.
Okay, Basecamp was written by a guy I know, Jason Fried, and well, his team, and they took a very simple philosophy. The people ask them for features all the time, and they continually say the same thing. No, we're going to focus on one thing and do it better than anybody else. So if we were to turn into a CRM or like a push, we handle all the video publishing for you, then it would be not what it is. What it is sales copy training and the best VSL training ever. So everything else is separate from that, and it should be because it would slow things down immensely. I know it because we built our own CRM, and trust me, you would not want that. It would just not be a good thing. So how I wish that we could just press, snap our fingers and everything. But those are really two different things. One is sales copy, the other one is commerce. So no.
Okay. Any other questions, Sherry? I think you are muted. Let me see. Yes. Go ahead.
I was just curious. I'm getting the idea that you don't have to use this for just one business. I have several different businesses that I'm working with. Most of them are tangible items. Some sell online, but some don't. Like I have a cafe that I'm trying to work on to build her traffic. Mm-hmm. Do you think this is something that could be related into that? I heard a lot about writing emails and using it in your everyday work.
Oh yeah. One of the things that we recommend people is using the I'm getting too much of an Okay. One of the things I recommend doing is getting people to use the 5-step VSL formula in an email. Just a much shortened version of it. You can also use it over 5 emails. So in other words, you could mail Monday through Friday, with Friday being the offer. So the techniques in here can be used for email, can be used for sales pages, for anything, and of course can be used for selling any product or service. So it can be a physical product, a digital product, a service. There's so many different applications. We've got B2B, B2C. We got all sorts of different people inside Copy Posse. So that's really going to help you getting inside Copy Posse to getting in there and saying, hey, here's what I've got going, and people will just give you their advice. And I'm in Copy Posse at least 3 days a week. So and you guys know what the hourly rate I charge, and you guys get it for free inside Copy Posse. So yeah, it's most certainly a great tool for that.
Awesome. Guys, do you have anyone here in the Hangout that has any questions? Raise your hand so I can unmute you. Let us know. And if not, I'm going to take, Asad, you have one? Okay. Go for it. We should be able to hear you. No.
Okay, next. Go.
Yeah, Zila. Okay, let's go. Did I say your name right, Zila?
Hello?
Oh, there we go. We hear you. Go for it.
Okay, brilliant.
And then we're going to go for you.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I just wanted to ask Jon the following. Basically, and I asked it online. Basically, my business is as a real estate agent, and I'm definitely not going to sell a house online through a VSL. But I will get leads, and I believe I will be able to build authority leading up to the contact that I would be having to the clients. I just wanted Jon to tell me a bit more about how I could use Celerator to actually, what I can get out of Celerator as a real estate agent. Just a quick overview, quickly, if it's possible.
Okay. There's let me give you a great place to go to. If you go to Celerator.com, just Celerator.com, this is we actually have redesigning our site right now, which is I can't wait till it comes out. It's supposed to come out tomorrow. But at the very bottom, you'll see tons of video testimonials. One of them is from a guy named Matthew. He owns a real estate company, and we have multiple real estate agents and companies that use Celerator, and those guys they use it in a very interesting way. They use it to collect leads to sell a specific house. They don't necessarily obviously sell a house through it, but they use it to collect the leads so they can narrow the perspective of where they go to. Like the people that call them up and say, because as you know, as a real estate agent, like the vast majority of people who call you up is kind of a time waste. So they use it to pre-qualify people, to say, go watch this video and make sure that this works, and they just use the copy elements. They show pictures of the house. Of course, you should. Like the ugly video sales letter doesn't mean that you'd never show a picture. That's not what it means. I didn't show any in mine. You don't have to. But in a house, yeah, I would. For example, I showed tons of pictures when I went through the actual demonstration of the software. So for house, it's the same way. But when we were working with them and another real estate agent, they were saying, well, I don't understand what the pain point would be or what the selling point would be. And I was like, well, think about it. When someone buys a house, they're not really buying a house, they're buying a home. They're investing in a home. And so we got them to think along the lines of, what does a home look like? You know, the home that you're about to buy is a place that if you have children, all the memories of your children are going to be formed through the running through the halls and up and down the stairs. You know, all the memories. Think about all the memories you're going to share with your significant others in this place, all the Christmases, all the holidays, and just think about the fact that the wrong home is the worst thing ever. It's the bad vibe. So that's how I was coaching people how to write. In other words, the same way that I would write to sell anything else. It's not just, hey, look at this house. It's got 4 bedrooms. It's got a pool. Yay. Okay, great. But what does it do for me, right? So I'm looking for a house like we talked about day one, but I'm really looking for a specific feel, a home that's got this right energy, that's got this right thing. And so writing around that and learning how marketers like myself or copywriters like myself and other people would write toward that is going to be invaluable to you, I think. So that's how Celerator would help you do it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the question.
Awesome. Zelia, am I saying your name right? Zelia?
Hello.
Zelia? I see you, but you're not speaking.
Uh-huh.
And you said you had a question. She's working. Okay, let's try with Christina. Christina, see if you can hear you.
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Oh, now we can hear you. Okay.
Oh, perfect. Thank you.
Oops, that was a different one.
John, you've given us all a fishing pole so that we can fish for life. So that's number one, and thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
It's brilliant. And number two, I think you should call this thing Celerator-a-thon. I think, you know, that's truly what it is, and it is a primer to the Celerator, which I have, and I am just so very grateful. So it's truly, this 10 days is a primer on how to use it. Very grateful.
Oh.
So now, yeah, now my question. Number one, again, I want to address something about the art and then something about the little vignette letter project. With the art, I have an existing website, as you know, and I'm so glad because I was thinking of using the VSL format for emails. Do I need to totally redo or in any way redo my website first, or am I good to go just with these emails and then as I can redo the website?
I would start with the emails. It's obviously the low-hanging fruit. Start there. And then just redo. When talking about redoing your website, just redo. I would shoot just a very first, like 2-minute, 3-minute change to the website. In other words, change that first particular 2 to 3 minutes based on these principles that we've talked about today, and test something very small. Once you find something that works, like a hook, a positioning that works, then you recreate the video sales letter or sales page based around that.
Okay. Then my items, they sell, let's say, in the 4 to 5 figure range.
Mm-hmm.
So that being the case, and security being an issue, because these are valuable, they're housed in a particular place, is usually I never put, my prices are not on my website. I never even send them in an email to somebody. I discuss them with somebody over the phone. So how is it best to handle a security issue? Like if someone were to come to the studio, nobody even knows where it is unless they're invited by me.
Right. I don't know about the security issue just because it's out of my area of expertise, but I can tell you from how I would handle it from a financial issue. It's the same way that we handle our high-end mastermind. When I send out an email or they go to a short video sales letter about my mastermind, I just come right out and say, look, if a 5-figure investment is not possible for you, then this just is not for you. Because this is a 5-figure investment, and so that's the only people. So in other words, I just immediately disqualify 99% of the people who are going to hit the site. But the 1% of the people who are remaining, they're highly qualified, and so then I have them just fill out a form, and then I call them. So that's what I'd recommend for you. Is like we talked about a little bit how to position the art and say, look, if the idea of investing 4 to 5 figures in beautiful custom art is simply not within your pay grade, I wouldn't say it that way, but you get my idea. Then this isn't for you. But if it is, leave your information below, and we'll confidentially give you a call, and then take it from there.
Now, is there a form in Celerator that's there with that?
No, we don't do forms. We're not
a template for that, rather.
No, we're not lead pages. We're not. All that's in Celerator is again the copywriting strategies that you would use to do that kind of thing. So, okay. So again, what comes in Celerator is actually what you're getting right now. So in other words, let's pretend that I wasn't on a Google Hangout-a-thon. I'd be on Copy Posse, and you would say in Copy Posse, hey, I've got this issue, and either I or somebody else would respond back and go, and here's what I would do. So that's the benefit of being in this community, because it's like, it's not always going to be a hangout-a-thon. Although I am planning to do these at least once a month, by the way, guys, just for the Celerator users. But it's primarily the coaching calls that happen with your marketing and coaching call, and the Copy Posse. Those are the ways you get answers to the questions. Because what in reality, Accelerator 4 is already in the works, and people who have Accelerator 3 will obviously be upgraded in that. But Accelerator 4 is going to be even more expansive. But the problem with being that we have to keep it within a narrow frame, because if you try to be all things to all men, as they say, you fail. And that's not what we're going to do. We're going to be focused on one thing, and we're going to do it better than anybody else. And I see the all things to all men all the time in cheap knockoff products, and they just fail. And they fail because they don't put the time and the quality into the one thing that counts. And that's where our time and quality is focused on is the copy. So.
Okay. May I ask you one question about the letter project?
I'm sorry. What now?
May I ask you one question about the vignette project, which is entirely separate?
Can you ask? Where's our time like, Yifat? I'm just concerned about our time, but normally I would say yes.
Yeah, we are 30 minutes past the agreement, and we have one more. So, do you want to put it in the comments, maybe, or like?
Yeah, can you address that in the comments, and because it'd be easier for me to answer it that way anyway.
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate your generosity. You're brilliant, and you are really doing a service for everybody. Literally everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Zelia, let's try this again.
Zelia? Hello?
Okay, terrific. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate your generosity.
She's watching us.
Okay, she's watching on delay. That's the problem. So,
yeah.
Okay, so just ask Celia to type it into the chat box.
Okay.
Awesome,
yeah, I don't know
guys.
why she's let's see.
Well, before we sign off today, I just want to know, like, just type into the chat box how many people am I going to be calling? I'd like to know how many people I'm going to be calling later today. So how many people am I going to be calling personally for half an hour? That's on the table until the end of today. After that, it is completely off the table, so help me God. So make sure you take advantage of that, because that half-hour call, I mean, I could tell you stories. So that's a big one.
It is a very big one, and I think we have covered all the questions here. Unless Zelia, you can jump into the Hangout away from the page and ask a question. If not, just type it in the comments. So let's see, can you hear us? No. Okay, so remember what you guys need to do in order to receive the gift that we have for the modality marketing. But better than that, before midnight today, Pacific time, if you want half an hour that is so valuable of John's brain and time, make sure that you hit that button that says save $800 right now, and do that before February 1st, because the price will go up. So thanks so much. And John, what is the second step of Celerator that we'll cover tomorrow?
Tomorrow we're covering the vital connection, which is all about building rapport and having people love and trust you, which is important. If people love, know, and trust you, they will buy from you, and it's not a gimmick. It's actual real rapport, and we're going to talk about the best techniques for doing that. I saw a couple of chat questions pop up down below. There was something about I don't know who said what, but something about committing to something, and another person said something else.
Certain approaches require. That's Philip. Philip, do you want to unmute and ask that?
Yes. Hi, John.
Hi.
My question. I'm just going to read you the questions. I can't think right at the moment. But when writing sales copy, do certain approaches require or should be utilized in order to effectively or impactfully motivate them into action? Does 3X Accelerator offer this type of guidance? So, obviously, as I told you a few days ago, my niche is health, and I'm wondering if you need to speak in a certain voice with there's certain words or that resonate well with that specific niche. Does Accelerator sort of guide us in terms of which is the best approach to use, to have that effectiveness?
Oh, sure. Yeah, most certainly. So, and because I came from that field myself, it probably has a natural bias toward that, if anything else. But yeah, what you also find is that persuasion works in any field. So there's not, like, for example, if you think in terms of like lead pages, there's not like a health template and then a financial template because unless you're talking to human beings that are not from Earth, all we Earthlings are motivated by the same exact things. We're all psychology is pretty much the same thing. So what we do is just all you do is tailor your tips and your suggestions to that market, which we teach you how to do inside Celerator, and the language takes care of itself. The language is just built around persuasion. So it's a good question.
Great.
Right,
Thank you. One more if I can. If not, that's fine.
Okay, one more quick one, then we got a bolt for the day. And you guys, just so you know, I mean, I'm just going to say this one more time. End of the day is all we got for the half hour with me and the last the Traffic Pros bonus. So go for that.
The last one was, do you offer any statistics next to the various approaches that you provide in terms of, because it's great to have a million iterations, but I just want the most effective ones, the ones that convert the best, Frank. And I'm wondering if I have that information will be provided to me in the software.
If I was to come out and say, or let me just say this, if anyone on planet Earth was to come out and say, I have an iteration for you that will work every single time, then they are lying. Because if I had that, don't you think I'd be using it every single? This is an 80-20 proposition, is what this basically is. Like everything else in life, what we've got is the iterations. When I say there's a million iterations, meaning there's a different possibility of combination of words. The framework is exactly the same. The structure is exactly the same. The words change, and then of course you can change your own words, and we highly recommend that you do within that framework. But that being said, iterations. The very first thing I teach inside the pattern interrupt video is you need to do at least 5 different versions of that pattern interrupt video and test it. Just the first 5 or 10 slides. Just test it. That's all we're asking you to do, because no one knows. When someone says, like I answered a question in Copy Posse the other night, I said, which is the better book cover, this one or this one? I said, test. No, I'm not the one to ask, you know. So the same thing goes here, is that there isn't a iteration that's specifically going to be perfect iteration. I can't say it. That's going to be perfect for your particular industry. There's just a multitude of variables that you go with. But if you don't start here, you won't start anywhere. So you start here and then you test it. Most people find out when they start testing it, they get really, really good results, and then they can pay to split test it and go on from there. But I'm a big fan of split testing things. So big fan.
Okay, got it. So the framework is key. Thank you.
Framework's key. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much, guys, for showing up. I really hope you take Jon on this, because he never offered it before, and I know he's never going to offer it again. So definitely take that up. If you're watching the replay, first thing you want to do, click that button and then come watch the Hangout. And then we will see you tomorrow, same time on Step 2. Thanks so much, Jon.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.